What's up? Back again. Another part of my Dyna winter build. And been getting my hands dirty, been tearing some stuff apart. So let me show you guys what we got going on. Let's check this shit out. All right, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you guys can keep up with the updates on this winter build Dyna project I got going on. So, part number 2, and there's a little bit of an update that I have now for you. I've been getting my hands dirty. I have a budget of about $2,000 is the budget that I do feel like I want to stay within. The goal, remember, is for me to build it, have some fun with it, ride it, make sure that whenever I sell it, I'm selling a decent product. It's a good product going on to the next person. But I'm gonna have a little fun with it along the way, and so I don't want it to burn a hole in my pocket. And what's really going to help me is that I have the ability to go ahead and do this stuff here in my garage with some friends and some beers and the tools and the lift. And so that's going to save me some money on the labor portion of it, of course. Every dollar under $2,000 is a win for me. Right now, what I can tell you I'm in is $100. And what was that $100? For a battery. That's all I've spent. I'm sorry, and I just bought a carburetor rebuild kit for $12 off of Amazon, delivered the next day. Carburetor rebuilt at no cost for me. Let's go take a walk around this bike, and I'm gonna show you what the latest is and what's happening with it. So, $100 is what we had to spend on the battery. I was trying to be a cheap ass and a tight ass and go ahead and try and save the other battery. I charged it for like 2 nights and just let it sit, and it did not even turn the headlight on. So, it was time for a new battery. That should have been what I should have done anyway, right from the beginning. I had to put a little spacer right inside of there, in between the terminal and the battery. And the reason that I had to do that was simply because the contacts on the battery that I got sat a little bit further back. And so this piece right here didn't make contact with it. So just that little spacer in between there was able to do the job. A little bit longer bolt, and then we're done and off to the races. As you can see, took a little steel wool and polished up the cover that was on here. Brought it back to life a little bit. So I'm gonna, little things at a time, I'm gonna just kind of address little stuff here and there. I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the Harley Davidson Gold Eagle on there. I think I'm kind of liking that. I think I'm digging that shit. Once we did that, we went ahead and fired it up. Now I'm not gonna be able to fire it up for you right now, because there's something missing. I'll get into that in a second. Once we got this on here, we tried to fire it up. It took a few cranks for us to get it turned on, you know, kind of twisting the throttle, getting it going, getting some fuel inside there, making sure we did put fuel. It was very low on fuel, so it wasn't running. We realized it was so low on fuel that we needed to get it over to the reserve switch on the petcock. And so once we did that and we got it, it fired up. It did start to blow some shit out of here, but it does need to warm up. I let it run for a while just to get kind of warm. With the choke on, it turned on pretty really good. And then once we turned the choke off, it idled actually very well, even with the problem that I'm going to tell you about right now. And so we did get it on. Lights turned on, headlights turned on, turn signals, all of that works. Did a kind of a run through and a check with it. The gauges are working. It's got about 35,000 miles on it. So everything on it is functioning. As far as electronics, it seems to be. It's all stock bars, so nothing appears what I would think was going to be cut. Everything on here from this point is pretty much stock. I don't see anything really change with it. So I'm fingers crossed that it is not really, you know, butchered in that sense once we kind of dive into that. So everything does check out though. Everything works. It fires up like I said. Primary, if nothing's ticking, tail lights work, you know, brake lights work. These are all the things that when you get a bike up on a lift, before you go and address anything, make sure this is the stuff that you go and address while it's on a lift. You just want to get it running. You just want to get the basics kind of going, okay? But we went ahead and took the carburetor out. Why did we take the carburetor out? Let me explain. So, here's the carburetor sitting over here on the bench. It was leaking. It was leaking so bad to the point when it got running, we were like, yeah, it's running. We just kind of let it go, and we were giving it, you know, some throttle and just turning the throttle a little bit, giving it, trying to blow some of this stuff out. And all of a sudden I kind of started to smell gas, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I looked over here and I'm like, why is it wet? It had rained recently, and I thought, oh, there's water in there. And then I realized, but I didn't have this bike outside. And there was a good puddle of gas just kind of starting to build up right inside that cavity right there. And so the carburetor itself is leaking. And so I took it out. I go, okay, it's leaking. It doesn't matter really right now where it's leaking from. I'll figure it out where it's leaking once I get it apart, or we'll just rebuild the whole entire thing. And so I knew, got to get it out. And because you got to address basics here. When you're doing a build, you got to make sure that you address basics. And the first thing I need to be able to do is make sure I can ride it down without it leaking gas all over the place. So it doesn't matter what I do. I want to go and road test this. And so before I go and road test it, I would like to make sure it's not pissing gas all over me. And that's got to get fixed anyway. So we're going to get a rebuild kit for this thing, actually, which I've already got. If you don't know, Amazon is sometimes your very best friend, okay? I went and bought a rebuild kit. Today is Sunday. I ordered it last night, Saturday. We have Amazon Prime. It showed up the next day. Today, it showed up at my doorstep at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Pretty simple. So that is where we are at with this project. That is the next update. The brakes right here on the back, I was looking at everything. Brakes do look good as far as like how much meat they have on them. The oil's in it. It looks good. Doesn't smell really burnt. The tires, they look a little slick. Maybe once I get them out on the road and kind of run them a little bit, they do have some pretty decent tread in them. So we shall see. I may even just switch these out for mags. I don't know how deep I want to get into this thing. First things first is address it. All the things that it needs. I'll polish some stuff out. See, started already polished. We just did a couple test spots here and there. My homeboy told me we were trying over here a little steel wool. He told me steel wool and some metal polish. That's what we used here. This is just metal polish with a terry cloth. So I'm going to get a little buffer, and I'll buff all this stuff out and make it look nice and good. And then we'll come back, and I'll show you all this stuff later on. We'll make this stuff really pop. I'll clean all this stuff up. As soon as I get this carburetor rebuilt, I should have it back down on the ground for me to be able to go out there and ride it. This right here, although the price went up because this came off. The price also went up because this came off. The Dyna Bros price went up because I don't have that on there. So I'm Dyna Broing it. Took the bottom one off, took the top one off. That's why I think I'm going to take the highway pegs off. Chrome T-bars. We might even leave it naked in the front. We're going to do a little race tech here in the front. Chrome shocks here in the rear. Probably put a little, purpose-built shift linkage in there. Yeah, we're going to get this thing dialed in here a little bit. So I'll keep you guys posted. The next thing is going to be a test ride and out on the road once I get the carburetor back. All right. That's the latest on this thing. The next phase will be get the carburetor installed once I get it back from being rebuilt. Get it back on the bike. Get the bike started again. Make sure it's idling and running correctly. And then I'm going to go and road test it, shift it through the gears before I start to install the bars. The next thing we'll do, once that is completed, I know, and it's running good, it's shifting correctly, there's no ticking and things that I need to address, that I mechanically that I need to address aren't it's going to have some things here and there I'm going to find along the way, but once I know it's at least a mechanically sound running bike is then when I will start diving into the suspension and the bars and things of that sort. And I think where I'm going to start that is in the front end with some suspension on the race tech and the handlebar job. Those are probably going to be the most time consuming for me. Handlebar job, I'm going to have to extend the wires. I'm probably going to have to extend the cables, both clutch and brake on this, and then I may do a brake upgrade on it as well. We will see. We will see. But I think that's where that's my next phase. Get it down off of the lift, go and run it through the gears, and then once I do that and I get it back on, I'll give you guys the next update of how it ran, what it did, and if there's anything else that I find that I need to address. All right. All right, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you guys can get notified when we got new part of this coming up. I'm going to be doing multiple segments every step of the way, and it'll be a fun little Dyna winter build right here in the garage. So keep up. Let's do this.